Hello everybody and welcome back to SpeedForce Racing. Yes, we're here for race 2 of this week. We're here in Italy and we are taking the Premier drivers around. We have 13 drivers in here tonight, including Lee and a couple of reserves from GP2, which is going to be brilliant to see how they do. We actually have last night's race winner, Twitch underscore CSO, COS, sorry, Ricky, who won the latest round of GP2. He is now here to test himself in the waters of Prem. I'm going to just get the SpeedForce stream up and we will see what we can do. But yes, it is fantastic to be back live. Fantastic to see how the Premier drivers will take, plus the reserves, seeing if maybe the reserves have it what it takes to bump up to Premier, and I think that would be brilliant to see. We're all going to get ready. You see Lee Nell is actually, I think he might take some time to actually do some racing tonight. That'd be fun to see. But yes, we are all ready and waiting to go. We have 13 cars racing here in Premier tonight, and I will be taking you through qualifying on my own. Then I will be joined later on in the session by Connor, who is a reserve for SpeedForce. He is joining me to test his arms and legs at the Premier division, but he is just running a little bit late. So yes, just to warn you, I do have a drink of water to drink throughout the race, so I'm not just going silent to ignore you. I'm just going silent because I need a sip of water. Just like that. Do excuse me if you heard that little swallow. So we're going to go over to the legendary Monza circuit and we can see what it has in store. Last night was a thrilling Grand Prix, start to finish, non-stop action, absolutely fun. I really urge you to go over and watch that stream with me and AJ on commentary. Tonight we're looking at the Premier drivers and we got some new names in here. Most notably, I'm going to really gush about him, it's Tuzmoose. Now, many people don't know who Tuzmoose is. I do. He is actually my ex-teammate from another league I ran in. From my first league, he was my first ever proper teammate. And I'm so thrilled to have him in here. So I'm genuinely beaming right now because of the idea of having Leo in here for me to commentate over. I know he remembers me a bit, but I don't know if he remembers me talking about how I do commentary and all that. Just excuse me while I take my headphones off for a second. But yes, so Monza, possibly one of the greatest tracks in Formula 1, one of the oldest tracks in Formula 1. It'll be celebrating its centenary, and I think either this year or next year we'll be seeing the centenary of Monza, which will be great fun to see if they do what they're planning on doing, which is possibly changing the track layout. It's late tonight. We got a different time set here. So the drivers we have in tonight, as you hear engines already firing up, we have Jesse, Senna, Tuzmoose, Ibrahim, David, Lee, Nikos, Racer, and Ricky, who are the reserves. Hamilton, Glocky, Stam, and Mixilius will be taking us through tonight's madness. So yes, hopefully Prem can give us as much of an entertaining race as we had in GP2. Who's running out there first? Well, it's Jesse coming out on track for the first time. Hello Jesse and welcome to 2019. We're going to see how you take this track. This is the first Premier stream of 2019 and I'm very excited to go for it. Jesse, who I think is running number 1 in this car now. Let's have a look. Yeah, the number 1 Haas. That'll be fun to say. So the number 1 Haas is now on track. He is not champion here, but at the same time it's still awesome to see a number 1 on the car. Normally number 1 is taken over by AJ, but AJ isn't here tonight. That is a very pretty helmet there from Jesse, the Frenchman. So Jesse going for the super soft strategy, but many drivers learning, I think, from GP2, seeing how the tyres reacted as Jesse almost heads into the gravel there, learning that the super soft tyres aren't as brilliant as was initially hoped. A little bit of rear end slip there from the Frenchman in the Haas, not Romain Grosjean. This is Jesse Tony. So coming down towards the Ascari now, we saw a bout of issues here. Look at that onboard shot showing off his yellow, red and black helmet very well as he comes down through Ascari now, getting all lined up way very nicely through there. Got a brilliant camera angle on that as well. So Jesse will be our first person to set a lap time. Then I think it'll be Ricky, the reserve for this session. Ricky, incredibly quick. It'd be fun to see if he can actually stretch his legs in Prem. Maybe he'll talk about racing both divisions. Not too sure. We have sector 3 yellow flags. I think this is someone getting out of the way. So we're now on board with a lap of Monza with Jesse. So into turns 1 and 2, want to get it all nicely turned in. Brilliant done for Jesse, got it absolutely slowed down at the perfect time. The fastest time I think in qualifying for GP2 was a 1:19.4. I wonder if any of these Prem drivers can beat that time. I'm sure it was a 1:19.4. I might go and check in a second, or I'll have one of my glamorous assistants in the chat if you can look for what the quickest time around here was in GP2 in qualifying. But yes, look at that, Jesse coming through Lesmo 1, now going to get ready for Lesmo 2. This is where we saw the hint of a few crashes in GP2, but he managed to keep it nice and straight, skimming the grass just a bit, DRS open as he heads down to Ascari, keeping the car well and truly as straight as you can. Look at that, up to 8th gear, lights all on the dashboard, but then changing down into 4th gear for Ascari, getting it nice and cool, trying to stay away from the curbs as best he can. And look at that, absolutely perfection as he heads onto the back straight towards the legendary Parabolica. This is obviously where we've seen the hint of many overtakes, and one most notably, I cannot remember. I think most notably the best thing you've ever seen coming through here was Sebastian Vettel in the Toro Rosso winning his Italian Grand Prix, the first Italian Grand Prix, but a 1:21.2 is the first lap on the belt for Jesse. Here is Ricky. Ricky ran across the line, a 1:22, sorry, as he crossed the line. Here's Senna, but Glock immediately a 1:20.2, so immediately a second, almost a full second quicker than Jesse, which is brilliant. I think just over a full second quicker. So Jesse a little bit slower, but Glock knowing what he's doing. There's a Mercedes going wide. That's Hamilton. No, it's not. That's Ibrahim. Sorry, who's reserving in the Mercedes. See a Red Bull just going round there. Look, it's not Lee. Who is that? Who's in the other Red Bull? I don't know. Trying to work out who that was now. But here we go. Senna runs across the line. Is he going to be able to match everyone's time? No, it's a 1:21.0, but it's enough for second place. Here's Stam. He's just about to cross the line now. The Haas crossing the line and goes second, a 1:25. Sorry. Oh, that's Mixilius getting it all wrong at T1, the 99 car. That number will obviously be retired and handed to Antonio Giovinazzi, the Italian driver who will be driving in Sauber in 2019. If you didn't keep up with the news, let's have a look at Leo. Where's Leo? Into turn 1 and 2. Nice and able Leo, a very able driver. It'd be wonderful to see if he speaks on the podium interviews after the end of the event, but we're not sure yet. Number 13 car. Yes, me and Leo used to share number 13. We used to call ourselves the 13 Bros, which is quite I think it was that or the 13 squad, one of the two. Alright, so Nikos coming through Parabolica now. Look at that, so controlled. Nikos, one of the Greek drivers that seems to be very controlled in that car. Right across the line now, can he beat everyone? He does! A 1:19.9, the first to break into the 1:19.9s, beating out Glock. Where's Glock? Glock pulls into the pit lane. Mixilius again abandoning his lap. Here's David, who's just passing Mixilius. There's Mixilius on the inside there. Mixilius very well aware of where everyone is. I think Leo is just ahead of his teammate. Oh no, Leo's in the barriers! Leo's crashed! Where is he going? Oh, big headlong crash! Tuzma's retiring! That! Oh no! Oh my goodness me! What an accident there. It was no one's fault. I don't know, David just didn't know where to go. Tuzma's... Oh, that's bad luck. That is horrendous bad luck. I might just message Leo and just oh man. That I'm genuinely speechless. In Tuzmus's first race, taken out in qualifying by his own teammate. The Sauber team are going to be absolutely furious, but I don't know if it's anyone's fault. At the same time, Leo was just drifting around the track. He didn't know where David didn't know where he's going, and oh my goodness me. I'm absolutely shocked. Let's go on board with Techno Thriller. Sorry, Ibrahim, the season 1 champion, as he's coming through Ascari. Now, I'm genuinely stunned after that. That was a horrendous crash. Abraham now trying to keep the car alive. He's gone for the soft tyres, sorry, rather than the super soft tyres, which Nikos is on. Nikos has taken Nikos was already on pole, provisional pole for a while now. Abraham coming around the Parabolica now, going to take a sip of water. Abraham crosses the line, and that puts him 4th, a 1:20.5. Orchard David in the pit lane for a new front wing after colliding with his teammate. I tell you what, that was... I'm still shocked. Absolutely shocked. But it was... I get people sending me stuff to do with IndyCar. That's not started yet, so I don't know yet. Hamilton now coming down towards Parabolic. He'll have a nice toe. I think that's from Glock ahead. Yeah, it is. Glock in the Toro Rosso have a little bit of a toe coming up the back straight. Glock, luckily, a little bit slower off that corner. So look at that. Hamilton's going to have a massive toe. Pulls to the outside and goes round him. What a toe. That's going to help him. Hope the Mercedes coming into the Parabolica. And that's going to help him with his lap time. So now down onto the start finish straight. David Hamilton immediately goes, look at that, 6/10 quicker. Could that be down to the toe? Who knows? But that, I don't think Glock's going to be happy about that. I don't think Nikos is going to be happy about that either. So here's Glock coming into T1 now. Lock up, but he's okay. Yeah, I think that's alright. He's just got it okay. Here's Senna. Senna about to cross the line, and it's a 2-minute lap. It looks like he was a 1:21.8. Who we got? We got David coming out on that lap. I wonder if he's messaged his teammate. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I think that's in order there. I'll keep my eye on the chat to see if I can tell anything to you as we see the Mercedes pull into the pit lane. Let's get back on board with Senna, number 12 car. Comfortably going around to try and improve on his lap time of a 1:21.08. Just gonna keep one eye on the chat. It looks like there must have been, I don't know if there's been any movement in the Prem chat. It doesn't look like there is. I mean, I probably would have messaged him mentally there, but it didn't happen. So now coming through the through to Ascari is Senna. Senna comes through, all comfortable. That Force India looking very nice and comfy as he comes up and round. Oh, he's in the wall! Senna's out! Senna is out of qualifying after a horrendous crash there at the exit of Ascari. Not an uncommon accident place, and I think that's almost what Tuzmus did before the incident happened. Here's Tuzmus' teammate, the other Sauber that got involved in that accident, and oh, wow. 2 drivers, and I think we're just below the GP2 qualifying time. You see drivers all getting ready to start their laps. So I'm going to try and find out what the GP2 qualifying time was in there. Let's have a look. In the background, we're going to do that. I think it was a 1:19.4, but let's see if David makes the same mistake. We've got waved yellow flags through here. Marshall's on track. Marshall's have gone. Look at that, very controlled there for David, knowing what he's doing and knowing where he can perform well. That Sauber, we have yellow flags ahead. I'm not sure what the yellow flags are for. So let's have a look at what the fastest time was in qualifying in GP2 yesterday. David pulls across straight into the pit lane, so something's wrong with that Sauber. Here's Racer. He's getting a nice tow from his teammate Ricky and Racer working together. The 2 GP2 drivers just wanting to push and work well together, and it seems that those two are comfortably trying. Actually, by the looks of it, the lap time was a 1:19. Was either a 1:19.6 or a 1:19.9, one of the two. But the two Williams working together. They might not be the fastest in this qualifying session, but I could make sure. But look at that, Ricky's already done a 1:19.9, which he's up there with his with the Prem driver. So Ricky, I think, could fit very well in with these guys. So look at that, giving each other a tow. I don't know who's on what lap. I think Racer has abandoned his lap. Yeah, he's let Ricky through. Mercedes Drama though, a 1:19.3, which puts him into provisional pole position. Right now, we could see a Ferrari on pole position at their home Grand Prix. What do we think about that? That would be brilliant. So we're going to go on board now with Ricky. Ricky's abandoned his lap as well. So both Williams drivers abandoning their laps, except for Racer, who's just started his now. He's a little bit down. Also, David back out on track. So Senna and Tuzmus, the only casualties in this session so far. so many drivers out around. Here's Glock just finishing his lap. Or just starting one of the two. He's going down 116, 117, sorry, 218, 219. There he is, into the brakes. Double lockup, but he gets the car turned in. The other Italian team in Formula 1, the Toro Rosso squad. Scuderia Toro Rosso, if you don't know that they are Italian, well, they are. Though the Red Bulls are Austrian, these are Italian, which is brilliant. I think they spawned from the Minardi team, which were brilliant. I believe they were Minardi. Yeah, Minardi blood runs through the veins of Toro Rosso, but still, the Honda engine performing very well more recently in SFR. So you see Glock trying to improve on his lap time, running a gold, black and white helmet as he pushes towards it. He's still one of the only drivers, I think, in the top 10 gone on the ultra soft tyres. Let's see who's on the best ultra soft tyres, sorry, the soft tyres. I'm getting the colours mixed up. It seems he's the only driver who thinks he can improve on these tyres. He's pushing like absolute crazy. He's run a little bit wide there. I wonder if that's invalidated the lap. No, it hasn't, but not by the looks of the way he's racing. It looks like he's going for it, absolutely hammering Tong. He's got Hamilton behind him again, going to give Hamilton a little bit of a tow. Hamilton getting very gracious with that. Mercedes in the pit lane, both Ferraris in the pits, and it looks like, yeah, Glock's pulling back into the pits. Double lockup as he pulls into the pit lane. Has Hamilton. Hamilton is faster! A 1:19.1. What a lap there, 2 tenths faster. So Mercedes not wanting to let Ferrari have it on home ground. Can Ibrahim match his teammate? Doesn't look like he can. 4 seconds away from his teammate. Putting into the pit lane, double lockup, gets pulled in just in time. Here's Jesse in the Haas, number 1 Haas. Can he get anywhere up there? Doesn't look like he can. He's about 140. He must be starting a lap now. And he does. He's about to cross the line to start his lap. Yes, let's see what he can do on his lap. Lots of drivers pushing their absolute hardest into T1. It looks like Jesse is comfortably up there, and P6 is not bad. But look how close the from 5th down it is. 5th until 8th, all separated for I think 3 or 4 tenths. Orchard David jumping his hat in there with the soft tyres of 1:20.9. There's Jesse sliding a bit on exit. The American-owned Haas team wanting a good result tonight as they had last night. This time the Prem Beasts have been unleashed, and it's fantastic to see. Obviously, new faces everywhere. None of the new drivers, by the looks of it, apart from Tuzmus, none of the new drivers turned up tonight, except for the reserves, which is quite upsetting. But it's fantastic to see that the reserves from GP2 are just as willing to come over and race in Prem. There you go, Jesse, not getting it wrong like Senna. Got it very controlled as he's coming up towards the run to Parabolica. Now, braking hard, little bit of a lock-up as he comes through. And here's my co-commentator running into the comms box.
Hello mate, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you? I just realised I didn't send you an invite. Oh dear.
I'll try and spectate it. I've just been watching from my end.
That's very painful I didn't get you in here. I might be able to message Lee and just see if he can send you an invite if you can't get in. But yes, it's been quite an eventful qualifying. I don't know how much you've seen so far. If you want me to give you a brief rundown, as you see Orchard David cutting Ascari, you can.
I've seen the last 10 minutes. The last clip I saw was a Force India mucking it up on the exit of Ascari.
Well, that was a headlong. That was a difficult crash. Let me just ask this to Lee. Okay, so what happened in the headline gig really is that the two Saubers, Tuzmus lost it on the exit of Ascari, spun around the track with a broken front wing, and Orchard David went headlong into his teammate, smashing his front tyre off by accident. No penalties given to either one of them, but it was it's just something you don't want to see.
Sounds nasty, to be honest.
It was a nasty accident. Hello, Leo. I assume that's Hungarian. How are you, my friend? Well, apart from the fact that your car's wrecked. Yes, it's fantastic. Jesse retiring in the pit lane with 1 minute to go of the session. Doesn't think he can do it. Look at that. Racer immediately jumps up to P8 in the standings. So the 2 people that crashed out are in 11th and 12th. The 13th driver being Lee. I don't think he is qualifying, even if he is going to race. I don't think he'll have time. Also, David's retiring in where is he? P10. Don't think he can do enough either. So both Ferraris are on track. And Connor, you raced here last night. How is that? How is the track for you?
It was quite tight. I know I had a difficult setup, but I think the action areas are definitely going to be around turn 1 and the Ascara chicane. They're like the most tight parts. That's where you're going to see people mounting curbs, locking up, and possibly going into the wall.
Well, right now we're seeing a Ferrari 2 and 3. And we've got it's getting very interesting. Connor has joined. Thank you, Lee, for sending the invite. Yes, right now this is getting very close. Just thank Lee in the chat. There we go. One Ferrari has mucked it up though. Qualifying is over. It looks like Nikos won't improve. But we have, as Glock retires in P4, we have a chance with Mixilius Drama to take pole position away from Hamilton. If Hamilton doesn't improve his lap and Mixilius does, there's only 2 tenths in it. This could get very tight, and we could see a Ferrari on pole at home. If he doesn't keep it clean, he might be in trouble. Everyone pushing as hard as they can. Yes, that was Ibrahim. Ibrahim luckily staying out of the way. Shall we just make sure that Ibrahim, that's Racer. Oh, Racer's crashed in the pit lane. We'll leave that alone. This is perfect for the Ferrari. The Ferrari is... No! The Ferrari retires. That's it, folks. That is absolutely it. I don't think Nikos will be able to improve on his lap time. Hamilton does improve, and Hamilton steals pole position away from the Ferraris on home ground. That was probably the best qualifying session that the Ferraris have had all season. Connor, you only saw the last part of it, but... For what you saw, it was quite exciting.
There was a pretty dramatic last 2 minutes.
Yeah, they always act up when you turn up. They always wake up and say, okay, let's get racing. There he is. Hamilton on pole position, a 1:19.0 from Mixilius Drama in P2. Nikos in P3 and Glock in P4. Abraham in P5 and Ricky in P6. Jesse is in P7 and Racer is in P8. Stam is in P9 and Orchard David is in P10. Then there's Senna in P11, Tuzmus in P12 and Lee in P13, but I think Lee will be retiring after the first lap. Yes, we're getting news through the admins are currently making a decision whether this will be the final race of Premier or not, because we don't seem to be getting the interest that we believe we should be getting for this season, which is upsetting. I mean, Connor, you've only been in SpeedForce for a small amount of time, but you know what it's like when a division is not getting enough interest. It's not very good, is it?
It's definitely not very motivating. We need to keep you guys motivated to get up, go racing, and just... You're here to have fun. If you're not here to do that, then you might as well not turn up anyway.
Yes, and unfortunately, by the looks of it, we might be seeing this as the last race of Prem. So hopefully the Premier drivers can give us a good send-off if this is the last race. If this isn't the last race, well, we'll see you in Singapore. But if it is the last race, then we will mention it at the end. But we're currently deciding. The admins are currently thinking right now. But anyway, so are you excited for, I think, the first time you've ever done Lights Out properly, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I've accidentally took myself into a Renault, so I need to retire as quick as I can.
Right, what you do with that one, mate, is you go round the first lap, or at least you try and get to the pits, not getting involved with everyone, go quite slow off the start, but not slow enough to warrant a yellow flag, and then you pull into the pit lane and retire, okay?
Okay. I'm sorry about this. I was just in a rush to try and get everything sorted.
It's absolutely fine, mate. You know what? Back in the days of 2016, before they had spectator mode like this, we had to be on track with cars. We'd have to trundle around at like 10 miles an hour, and they all went off to the start. And we'd have to retire, and we'd have to get back into the spectator mode very quickly.
At least everyone in Prem looks like they're more sensible on the formation lap.
Yes, we had a few interesting contacts under the formation lap last time. But so let's run through the grid order right now. We have Hamilton in P1 and Mixilius Drama in P2. Nikos is in P3 and Glock is in P4. Abraham is in P5 and Jesse is in, sorry, not Jesse, Ricky is in P6. Jesse, this man, is in P7. Racer would be in P8, but he is disqualified. Stam is in P9, then it would be Orchard David, the first of Vasalbas, in P10, but he has been disqualified also. Senna is in P11 after they rebuilt his Force India, and Tuzmus hopefully will stay away from his teammate this time in P12. Lee is there in P13, but I assume he'll be retiring. And then there's Connor, who's giving us a nice driver's eye view of what's happening before he retires. Alright, so everyone's getting ready. A few drivers getting disqualified on the lap. Not sure what's happening there. Probably just the just everyone getting very close together and making mistakes.
Past my halo.
And that's what it's there for, folks, to protect the drivers' heads. Oh, video games.
Oh, it's not letting me point at the pit lane.
No, you need to do it lap 1, mate. Yeah, you need to do it on lap 1. That's what Lee will be doing, I think. So you see, how I want to take you through, I will take you through lights out as I normally do. Apologies, Connor, because this is his first time being with me in commentator trim. He's about to get loud. Alright, so 5 red lights are about to come on. There are the 5 lights, try and get a better angle. 5 red lights. And for the final time, Prem is underway here in SpeedForce. Hamilton getting a pretty even start from Mixilius, but Nikos, the flying Ferrari, is into P1 already, trying to get it all stopped. Hamilton hits him into T1, causing Nikos to cut the corner. Oh, big contact there, but both Mercedes through into turn into 3. What has happened back there? Mixilius, oh, big crash. There's a red. Oh, who is he? Oh, what has happened here? Racer is off, and it was a Williams sent off. Looks like he was sideswiped by Tuzmus, who got a bad oversteer. Jesse and Stam are swapping positions like no one's business. Ricky is losing positions. Looks like he's hit the gravel. Now everyone's going completely mental, and the Premier drivers are showing that they've been left in the cage too long.
There's a difference between getting your elbows out and being turned into a savage wild animal over the Christmas period.
It appears that has happened. Oh, Jesse considering a move on Stam in the Ascari chicane, but it hasn't happened. I prefer to call it a complex now. It's more of a complex than a chicane. But that was a horrendous start for Prem. Now, side by side of the American cars coming to Parabolica. Who's better, the Frenchman or the Greek? It seems it's the Greek on the brakes. But the Frenchman's coming back on the switchback, and he has made the move. Stam pulls into the pit lane after damage on lap 1. And there we are. Nikos leads for Ferrari, but he does have a stop and go penalty after being absolutely sideswiped at turn 1 by Hamilton. And it's these guys are absolutely mental. Jesse losing the back end, a little bit of lock up there, and now Glock is going to try and go around the outside. Connor has retired because he's coming up to the comms box with me. Quickly get your helmet off and get your suit off, please. Side by side is the Toro Rosso and the Haas, and it seems that Toro Rosso is going to try a Sebastian Vettel-esque move. He's trying to go down the inside. He hasn't managed it, and he hasn't spanned, so he hasn't tried Sebastian Vettel. Someone else seems to be in a bit of trouble. Is that Lee? No, it's not. Sector 1, not sure what's happening down there. Connor, tell me when you're in spectator mode.
Yeah, I'm just riding on board with the Toro Rosso and the Haas at the minute. It was quite close.
Oh, Ferrari! Oh, sorry to cut you off, mate, but Mixilius lost it on the gravel and almost ploughed into the wall. Oh, that almost went very badly, but he's losing time to Senna now, who's going to try it down the inside. No, not yet. I'll hand you back over to, Senna makes contact with, who is that? Ricky. Ricky and Senna go side by side. Oh, Ricky, big drift, but he's caught it round, and I'll hand you back over to Connor.
Yeah, I'm just riding on board with Racer at the minute at the back of the grid. He's had obviously a shocking start, and not necessarily all down to his own fault. I don't know what he's done to his car, but that Williams is a bag of spanners to drive at the minute. He's mounting every single curve, and I don't know if he needs a new front wing or if there's anything wrong with the setup, but that Williams is sick at the moment. He needs a lot of luck.
Do you mean sicker than a normal Williams?
Yeah.
So, taking pot shots at one of the safety car has been deployed thanks to Lee DNFing. I don't know where he's DNF'd, but that's it's quite hefty. Is that an impact somewhere, or is he?
I didn't see. I went to ride on board with Moose.
I'm trying to see. I'm going to look at the race director. Where is Lee? No, Lee. That was obviously of Lee's own warranting in the pit lane. But yes, Ibrahim has span under the safety car, which has caused him to lose positions, or he's allowed to return back to his other position. I'm not sure. Yeah, he's span. I think he's allowed to return to his position. Per the rules, but yes, we have a safety car here in Italy, and that lets us all calm down a bit.
Racer will be counting his lucky stars at the minute.
Ibrahim letting drivers through. I'm not sure what's happening with that Mercedes.
I just saw where Lee pulled off to the track. It was on the inside of turn 3, just off the racing. It's still quite close to the track.
It's funny that when there's huge crashes like there was in GP2, the safety car wasn't even looked at, and then one driver just pulls off voluntarily as the Ferrari of Nikos pits. They immediately go, scramble the safety car. Why? Because there's a car there. It's clearly that the stewards can only see out their window, so they can only see to turn 3.
Positions 4 and 5 racing for position, or are they supposed to be behind safety car? They're going pretty close into turn 1.
I'm not sure what's happening there. It might be different deltas. Obviously, we haven't seen them actually catch the safety car yet. Where is Hamilton? Hamilton has caught the safety car, so we're all going to start to... so is Jesse. Ricky's up there too. He's just going to start doing it. So everyone's going to start bunching up at this moment in time. There we go. There's a Williams coming through the shot now. But in this situation, Connor, I know that we've had safety cars before. When me and Connor race together, actually, we're quite good friends now. Apart from the fact that he keeps telling me that I'm terrible and I keep crashing. But to be fair, that's true. But Connor, in this situation, it's 4th lap of the Grand Prix and the safety car is out. What are you thinking at this point?
First thing, put your fuel and ERS down, low mode or off, and if anyone at this point has started on the hardest compounded tyres, this is practically ruining their race. Unless you want to try and nurse your tyres through to the end anyway, or if it was me, I'd be changing on to the medium compounded tyres, not necessarily the softest.
Well, oh, there's a Sauber off! Who is that? It's Tuzmus!
Tuzmus lost it on the safety car.
Tuzmus has lost it, and that's, to be fair, as well easily done if he's trying to warm his tyres up. But has he got damage on that? He was one of the drivers to start on the hardest compounded tyres, the 13 car. We should have, where are we? I think 2nd lap under actual safety car conditions, so we should be having one more lap under here. We'll give Leo some time to catch up, maybe even some time to pit. I'm not too sure.
It looked like he was just trying to warm his tyres while going through the Ascari section, and on the exit he had a bit of oversteer and he took himself onto the gravel.
Well, that's easily done. I'm sure you and me have done that a few times, haven't we?
I don't think I've done it beyond safety car. I think I've done it in the formation lap a few times. I barely ever see the safety car.
So Stam has pitted. We've lost 2 drivers, but both of them weren't really drivers. 12 drivers now remain in the Premier Division. We believe this might be the end of Prem, which would be a shame because we worked hard to get these drivers, but it seems that they're just not interested in racing anymore. So there's no point in us putting on these events anymore. If it does come to this being the last race, well, thank you for watching Premier. If it doesn't come to the last race, then I'm just spewing absolute rubbish out of my lips again. But anyway, there is a Nick. Oh dear! What happened there? Nikos has. Go on.
I can only assume it was a collision behind the safety car.
Well, it has. Nikos has. Nikos is not handing back the position, so I'm not sure if he's been warned of all that, but there was definitely a collision, which is called a severe collision, but it seems that Glock's car is okay right now. It looks like Nikos's is alright, so safety car is in this lap, so we'll go back up to Hamilton and have a look at what's happening as he starts to slow down the field and get everyone ready. The 88 car, again, that number will be stolen by Robert Kubica, and Hamilton will be very upset.
safety car starting to pull away. Oh, someone's been bit.
Oh, it's Jesse! Jesse's off! That's a little bit too aggressive on the restart. He's back up to position though, which is good. Hiya, Podge, how you doing? What's that?
What a time if you break your front wing at this moment when a safety car's coming in and you're about to restart.
Ultra David getting a 5-second stop and go penalty for ignoring yellow flags. It's going a bit early. Must have overtaken one by accident, but we are back to green flag racing. Here is Jesse on board. Jesse getting the better launch, heading into turn 1. The Haas has got the run on the Mercedes. He's got the best run. Oh, someone's off! Abraham's out! On the restart, Abraham is out, but Jesse has gone into the lead. He has gone into the lead ahead of Hamilton, and now Ricky's going to try and do it as well. Ricky trying to go round the outside of Hamilton. It's not happening so far. He's going to be right there though.
Although the Williams did clip the rear end of the Mercedes into turn 1.
Jesse's lagging like an absolute alien, I believe the youth term would be, which is affecting Hamilton's race, which is in turn helping Ricky's race, which has allowed him to slide straight through. But what a crash on the start-finish straight from Abraham in the background. This has gone from a Ferrari dream race, starting second and third, to an absolute nightmare. But it's all going right for the American team right now. 3 attempts between Jesse and Ricky, but Ricky is going to try and claim it for Williams, and if he does, he'll be the first person to win SFR back-to-back in 1 week. He will have won GP2, and he's going to go for the lead on Jesse right now. He's gone right round. He might have to hand that back. I think he should hand that back, really, shouldn't he?
It depends if he's made the move stick or not. It's still quite close.
Well, you could class that as handing it back, but Ricky down the outside. Jesse locking up. Who's where? Ricky into the lead. The GP2 reserve driver is now in the lead and leading the Italian Grand Prix in Premiere. For how long? We have an engine glitch on Jesse, so we'll try and stay off his T-cam for now. But look at that, he's going to try and go round the outside. Oh, he's getting very close here. And Jesse just not able to do it. Ricky just absolutely happy with his position. Nikos and Glock are fighting again. These two seem to be fighting quite heavily during the Grand Prix.
Yeah, the interlock wheels coming into the second chicane, and the Toro just had to go straight on. Otherwise, there would have been another almighty smash.
The Premier guys seem to be more in tune with NASCAR than Formula 1 more recently, and it seems that they're enjoying themselves though.
Give them a narrow track and high speed, and something is going to get broken.
Something will definitely get broken, but by the looks of it, hopefully not a car at this point. Jesse seems to be running away, not Jesse, sorry, Ricky seems to be running away with it, but right now, on board with the Ferrari, Mercedes drama, as he's trying to close up to Glock. Glock, who has some pace. I still find it fun to reference that we have Glock and Hamilton in one league. DRS has been re-enabled as we go back to full racing now, and hopefully we will not be seeing that safety car one more time tonight. Keep an eye on it now. Mercedes down the inside, having a look, not making a move yet on Glock. Allowed him to lock up, but there's a 3-second time penalty for him. Racer and Stam, though, going side by side. Stam making the move stick on the outside, and Tuzmu's down in P11 seems to be struggling right now.
I don't know if Tuzmus ended up getting some wing damage when he made his mistake beyond the safety car.
It could be, or it could also be that his medium tyres just aren't up the temperature as he thought they would be at this point in the Grand Prix.
Well, having said that, because he's on medium tyres, he probably wouldn't be near the pack anyway. So when everyone comes into pit stops, they expect him to jump up quite a few positions.
The thing is with Tuzmus, he hasn't pitted. He has been on those tyres since the start of the Grand Prix. Now Glock is under pressure. Glock has a broken front wing from some incident, but the Ferrari is through, and now Mercedes is going to go chasing after his teammate of Nikos. These two have been very good teammates for a while now in SFR, but we're going to go look up Hamilton, whose teammate is out of the Grand Prix. Oh, he's made contact with Jesse, or something's happening. Jesse is lagging like an absolute, well, as I said, alien earlier. So now Hamilton is going to potentially be passed by Senna. Now this is something that you never thought we were going to say. Hamilton being overtaken by Senna. Jesse trying to go for Ricky as well for the lead. Who knows what's going to happen in this little chicane here. Ricky's still ahead in 1, but Senna is through right now. Hamilton trying to vent. Oh, they lose it! Senna, I don't know what happened with Senna. Said to 1, we have a yellow flag. That is Hamilton. Senna looked like he just got a bout of oversteer, which knocked him off. But now Nikos is going to try go down the inside. Where Ferrari spins, he decides not to. Connor, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at the fight between Blocky and the Ferrari in front of him at the moment.
Alright, we'll have a look down here, what's happening here. But we're going to dart around a bit because everyone's going everywhere. Let's have a look at Jesse. Jesse going round the outside of Ricky on the straight there. The DRS straight helping him. Ricky snapping back into position. Going, nope, this is going to be a Williams win here tonight. And I'm going to make it win for possibly the last time. And that would be great to see him get the double for the weekend. But he's got the run on Jesse. But I don't think he's got the pace at this point in time. Jesse just seems to have the pace. Connor.
Yeah, he's doing quite well. I'm quite impressed to see, even though he had DRS, it was the gap he managed to pull to him on that straight, even before the Ascari chicane, was quite impressive.
Sector 3, we have Glock off. Glock is off. He's crashed heavily at Parabolica. Looks like there's been an incident. Hamilton in the pit lane. Jesse has lost the position once more. Ricky convincingly moving past him. Just going, I don't need the corner to overtake you.
Glock is pitting.
The the Haas have no fury has just been knocked off a little bit by Racer, but all fair is another war. Again, as I said earlier, seems to be a bit of NASCAR racing involved. If they rub, they're allowed to. If they touch, then it's a little bit far.
We're right on board with Stamp and Racer at the minute, looking quite close. To be fair, Racer has done very, very well to get back this far after that start. The safety car's really helped him out so far.
It definitely has. Here's Senna closing up to Orchard David. His eyes are on the back of that Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo aiming to get a podium at their home event, even though the team is racing under a Swiss license. Still a bit of Italian in him. But Force India going, no, I think we're going to have a British license on the top there.
Oh, is ran wide. Racer ran wide.
I think by the looks of it, so does Stam. Is Stam going to lose the position? I'm not too sure at this point in time. He just might do it round the outside, and it looks like Racer convincingly.
Yep, I think he's done that until the next battle when we get to turn 1.
Right now, Jesse once more is going to try it, but it looks like Ricky has got the better line here. Ricky defending very well, and it seems, let's have a look at the Stam and Racer incident. Look at that. Shows how powerful DRS is in this game, doesn't it?
Yep, it's going to be around 53 for these guys coming up next.
Let's have a look back at the leaders, though. It seems that Jesse, his tyres must be starting to wear a bit more than Ricky's ones, because remember, Ricky had practice last night. Some of these guys might not have had as much practice as Ricky did in race trim. Everyone pushing their absolute hardest. Again, Nikos still begging to get a Ferrari on the podium. Italy, I mean, you want that, don't you? But you want it to be on top step.
Yep. Ferrari and the Tifosi will always want it on the top step, especially when it comes to Monza.
Mercedes getting a 3 single time penalty. Actually, the last Ferrari win at Monza was, we believe, I didn't do any more research, was Fernando Alonso in 2012. That's how long it's been.
I thought it was in 2012 or 2010.
I think it was 12. So Senna is now inheriting the lead because Jesse and Ricky both pit. So their tyres, the only guys on the super soft tyres at the end, in the midpoint, have pitted. Now Orchard David is going to try and go for the lead himself.
Well, these guys that are pitting are coming out on the soft tyres. They've got about 15 laps to get to on the end. I think these guys on the mediums might have a slight edge over them, because if they go for the softest tyre, which I'm assuming is the super soft, they're going to be pretty comfortable. It should be a pretty good scrap in the last 5 laps of the race.
It definitely would be an interesting one, and strategy is always a big thing here in Formula 1. I'm trying to find. In the background, I'm trying to find when Ferrari last won here. But Orchard David is getting very close to to Senna. Where are we? History, that's what. No, winners of the Italian Grand Prix. Here you go. Doing research whilst commentating. Exactly how you want to do it. See Orchard David getting very close to the back of it. Yeah, Fernando Alonso, 2010. You are right. So even longer then.
That's nearly 10 years.
That is nearly 10 years. Absolutely shocking there. Could we see Ferrari break that streak tonight in SFR as a possible farewell to the Premier Division? Jesse getting close, but he's been passed by Hamilton. That is not what Jesse wanted to see by a man who was pitted before him. Tuzmus has passed his teammate. I think he's glad that those two aren't going to come together once more in the race, but it seems that everyone starting to get a little bit more spread out as the race starts to unfold a bit.
I'm just trying to look up when the last Ferrari 1-2 was at Monza.
That's a fair shout. I want to say Schumacher and Barrichello. That's what you'd assume, wouldn't it?
It must have happened. There must have been a Ferrari 1-2 in the Schumacher era.
Or was it right the way back in '88 after Enzo died? There was the one win that McLaren didn't get that year.
Yeah.
It could be. God, if that was
definitely the most emotional win, but that surely not. I know I didn't watch Formula 1 at the time of the Schumacher era, but surely it can't be nearly 30 years since Ferrari last had a 1-2 at Monza.
To be fair, I watched it, but I was 5, so I don't really I don't think I remember it.
No,
the earliest F1 memory I have is Jensen winning in Hungary.
The earliest F1 memory I have was a McLaren winning, but it wasn't the driver that won the championship. I still have no idea what year it was. I don't have any idea what race it was. All I know is that the clouds were grey.
Probably Coulthard. Probably Coulthard.
I think it was either Coulthard or Raikkonen.
This might be a shout. Yeah. So, thank you for the compliment there, Vasilius. I hope that's your name. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Apparently, it's great, great commentary. And go Red Donkey. I assume you're talking about the Ferraris, because neither of us are a Red Donkey. I mean, are you a Red Donkey?
I'm not a Red Donkey. I'm not really a Ferrari fan.
No, nor am I, to be fair. I mean, I am now Charles there.
I think it's more the way how Ferrari run things that I'm not really a fan of. It's not really a personal thing. It's just I don't like the whole move over where they put all their eggs in one basket, and when, let's say, if something happens to one of the drivers, they purposely mucked up the other driver's strategy, so they might not even get a win if, let's say, one of them has an engine failure or crashes. And that really bites them in the backside when it comes to a championship fight.
It does, and more recently we've been seeing that a lot more. But we'll keep the controversial lack of Ferrari talk on the screen, and we'll talk more about Nikos and how he is closing in on Senna. But Senna is very quick. I tell you what, when was Senna's last win at Monza? Or did he ever win at Monza? That's a question, isn't it?
Do you want me to find out?
Yes, please. That'd be quite a nice one. We've got a few laps left. So the order right now, so subject to change later on in the Grand Prix, is Senna in P1 ahead of Nikos in P2, Mixilius Drama in P3, Stam in P4, Racer 555, the reserve driver, is in P5, and Tuzmus, the newcomer, is in P6. Ricky is in P7, excuse me, and Hamilton is in P8, Jesse is in P9, Orchard David is in P10. Excuse me once more, had a Subway for tea. Glocky is in P11, and he's the last of our finishers. Our non-finishers are Ibrahim. The other two don't count because they're not as pretty as Ibrahim.
I'm noticing the amount of pretty helmets everyone's getting.
Everyone gets pretty helmets.
Nikos is doing quite well. Oh, he's just running slightly wide at Parabolica, but he's within half a second of Senna at the moment. That deal should be wide open by now.
I think 15-lap-old super soft tyres are about to become 12-lap-old medium tyres at the lead, and I think Senna relinquishes the lead to Nikos. Ferrari lead at their home event here in Monza.
Just trying to see if Senna's losing time to the Ferrari behind him as well. It's a little bit stagnant at the minute. I guess as soon as they get closer, the Ferrari will be affected by dirty air at this point.
I think the Ferrari won't be yet. I think the game isn't as effective as it could be. John, it's all right that you missed the the event. Just keep an eye on the chat because there might be some news popping up soon. Senna is losing time, I think a bit of time, to Nikos, but in a straight line he's very quick. That Mercedes engine pulling him along very well, especially with a toe there.
I'm right on board with Chismus. It's beyond race, so he's coming up to a Ascari now. Will he make move? No, he backs out of it.
We have gone to look at Chismus, but he looks like he won't get the run on Racer. Let's have a look back at the lead. Here's Senna trying his hardest to wrestle that Force India to go back to the lead. I don't know if it's going to happen right now. He's within a tenth, so he's going to go side by side, hopefully, with the Ferrari. He does manage it.
Oh, that was close.
That was late. He's ahead. He's absolutely muscling the Ferrari in the braking zone. It could be deemed moving in the braking zone, but not as bad as Max Verstappen-esque move there. And then in the background, you can see Chismus absolutely flying past Racer. Racer going for the dive bomb, cutting the corner a bit and hitting him, but that's all right because he didn't cause any damage. I think he lost himself more time than gaining it.
A little bit scrappy between those two. No, they've been scrapping ever since the safety car came back in. They're going side by side again.
To be fair, these are the two drivers that did make mistakes under the safety car. Now is it going to be a spinning car? No, there isn't. I did low-key have a heart movement there, thinking, oh dear, we're going to see a spinning Alfa Romeo instead of a Ferrari. Do you reckon Ferrari had that patented to only be able to spin at that corner?
Seen Hamilton behind Ricky. I think he's a little bit far back on this occasion.
No, but if he can carry the speed through Ascari, he might be in a golden opportunity. But his tyres are going to be in a worse shape than Ricky. Look at that running through there. I want to say that was the best run through Ascari we've seen for a while. Senna pulls into pit lane, allowing it to be now a Ferrari 1-2 here in Monza. And Hamilton right up to the back of Ricky.
This is the fight everyone should be watching for now. Can Senna take the win away from the Ferraris?
That will be the question. Senna is on medium tyres by the looks of it. And there you see Hamilton breezing past the Williams as a Mercedes normally does when it passes one.
Senna's retired.
Oh no! What has happened there? Senna giving up in the race. So that might be that he's had to do he's been called to do something, but that has basically handed the win to the Ferraris there.
It certainly looks that way. But I bet whatever has happened to him, I bet he's gutted that he probably won't even get a podium.
I think if to be running in the top 3 and a retire like that, I think there's yellow flags ahead. Yellow flags behind. I think something must have happened to cause that to happen.
I saw him come out the pit lane. There was no contact, no nothing. He just came out the pit lane and retired.
Well, if it happens in real life, something must have happened in real life to affect it. I mean, I've never had such an event block me from racing. But I do worry a little bit now. Something could be happening to Senna in real life. But now we have the top 10 will be the only point choice. Chismus and Stam pull into pit lane, moving Racer, the GP2 reserve driver, back into 3rd place. Hamilton is coming under threat from the other reserve driver, being Ricky. Ricky flying right round him, gonna go round the outside of the Mercedes. Is he gonna manage it? Hamilton and Ricky both lock up, but look at that, a convincing lead on Ricky.
Pretty impressive. Mercedes still not going to give up on it though, is he?
No, Hamilton will not give it up. I don't think he's going to try anything silly though. He's going to be very well behaved. Hamilton, very quick driver, knowing where to go, and I think Ricky is going to be under a bit of threat, but Hamilton's cars are going to be the ones to go first, aren't they?
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. I would assume, I don't even know if, with how old his tyres are, if they'll be able to go to the end comfortably. We've still got about 8 laps left, I think. Yes,
we do have 8 laps left, or possibly 9 laps left, trying to think. I think 9 laps left of the Grand Prix. It's all mad right now. It's all up in the air, and anything else is going to happen, because look, Ricky is catching Racer, Hamilton is catching Ricky, Mixilius is catching Nikos. This can still be a race at the end, but we don't know what's going to happen.
I think it's all going to come down to who's got the youngest tyres.
There you go. Racers was moved out of the way for Ricky. So Claire Williams, Claire Williams jumping in to the chat and going, Racer, we need you to hold up Hamilton as best you can. Well, I don't know if that's going to happen, to be fair, because this is going to be pretty easy by the looks of it. Whoever's better on the brakes, it seems to be... Oh! Messy and clumsy there. And a little bit of a weave there from Hamilton. This is a thank you, you didn't do it very well. Oh, catch it, Racer! But he's got it well. Whoa, see that dust pile there?
No, for some reason I'm right on board with Stan. Just trying to see what you can do on these super softs, because these are going to be going to the end. About 7 laps left now. Yeah, this will be his last stop, so I'm just waiting to see where he'll end up finishing. But I don't know if drivers like Racer or maybe even the Ferraris, if their mediums will take them to the flag. Because even if they make it to the end of the race, they're probably going to lose a bit of time. I know they're mediums, but they're going to be nearly, well, they're going to be over 20 laps won by the end of the race.
They will be, and it's depending who's going to what's going to happen. We saw Lee Nell's tyres were about 87% last night when he finished the race, and I think he finished in about 5th, or no, he finished in 8th, but by penalties, I think by removing a penalty, I think he's going to move up to 7th instead, swapping places with his teammate. But Glock pulling into the pit lane, he's pretty much out of this Grand Prix unless there's another major issue, which completely isn't out of the question. Let's go up and have a look at Nikos, who seems to be driving very well. We'll see if we can talk to some of these drivers. I don't think Nikos speaks much English, so he can't join us. Mixilius may be able to, and I think Ricky will join us if he's on the podium. We know Hamilton will, definitely, but drivers, I think Glock might end up getting lapped if he's not careful.
As long as he stays out of trouble, he should be fine. He's on the super, so even though he's 30-something seconds behind, you still don't know what's going to happen. There could be a safety car at any point in the next 6-7 laps. But at least it's a points-paying position for him at the minute.
It definitely is. So Hamilton is closing in. He is close to Ricky now. Remember, he's on older tyres than Ricky. The Welshman trying to defend from the Lebanese driver. I believe he's Lebanese. I hope I got that right. But Hamilton, he's gained a 10th in that first corner, 2 tenths now. He's got the pace in a straight line, but I think Ricky's a little bit stronger in the corners, unless Ricky's baiting him into wanting him to race. By that wiggle, I think he is. Ricky trying to defend. Remember, this will be for the final position on the podium. We are on lap 22 out of 27. And Connor, what are your thoughts right now?
My thoughts are seriously with the Haas in 9th place that is on 3-lap-old super softs. I don't think he's going to win the race, but it's the huge clump from between 3rd to about 8th place that are just going to they're going to squeeze together. Because I don't think these tyres on the guys that are running the longest are going to go to the end. So, where we're looking at drivers now, I don't think that's going to be how it is when the race is over.
All bold predictions there from Ricky. We have a couple of people making predictions in the chat. I mean, that'd be nice to hear what other people can think. Apparently your name's Ricky now, Connor, because I don't know who I'm talking to anymore. Oh, I'm so blonde today. Ricky's trying to go around the outside of Hamilton. It could happen. It could not happen. Hamilton has to give him room. They clump side pod on tyre contact. But it's okay.
Ricky had a little bit of a tank sucker coming out of turn 2 as well.
So that's because Ricky jumped up on the curb, didn't he?
Yeah, it's left Williams in a little bit of a compromise coming into these next few corners, and as predictably, the Mercedes is catching him quite comfortably. They'll be locking horns until the flag, I think.
They definitely will do. Right now the Ferraris close together. At this point, do you reckon, I'm trying to think who the team principal of Ferrari is now. Not Maurizio Abubani, so some Italian person is going to say, don't fight at all. I do apologise if anybody... Yeah. Oh, that's so annoying. I did know it earlier.
I think I know his first name. I don't know his last name, but I done my research and I believe I've got the last Ferrari 1-2 at Monza.
Okay.
I think it was 2004.
So that would be Schumacher and Barrichello then. But right now we're going to look at Hamilton. Hamilton going round the outside of Ricky. These two absolutely going at it, hammer and tong. And it's battle 597 as Ricky's going to try and go for a dive bomb. He has gone for a controlled dive bomb, but it hasn't worked. He's scared Hamilton off the track a little bit. Oh, clouted.
To give me that amount of space. Very, very safe by him.
Yeah, Hamilton knowing what to do, but they did clout front wing on rain lights. But I'm not sure.
Ooh, both of them that lock up. That rear end on the Williams does not look happy.
I think, to be fair, that Williams doesn't look happy anyway. Remember his teammate got caught in a massive crash at T1. So maybe Williams just didn't set up their cars very well this week. And try and get a quick sip of water in before they crash. I mean, before they clash again. Trying not to insult drivers, but I know, but isn't it amazing to see a GP2 reserve driver like Ricky come up and fight against Hamilton, who is a seasoned Prem driver, with basically no issues.
He's just got my respect at the minute for just giving it a go, and bonus to him, he's actually doing quite well.
I think Racer is as well.
Oh yeah, Racer's been... He's done a lot better than what I thought he was going to do this race. You wouldn't have thought after lap 1 that he'd be in 5th. I thought that he would probably have retired at this point, but well done to him. He's keeping it quite consistent. He's got a bit of a gap to the car behind.
He is consistently there now.
It's also going to be if he can take it to the end.
It will be that way. Ricky is trying his absolute hardest. He's dive bombing every corner he gets a chance without going to put his car in danger, knowing where he's going to go. Now we see the Salbers. These two clashed in qualifying. I'm not sure if these guys are going to make it through, and without this race, without touching again. I hope that they don't, because I do quite like the Salber team without any tyres missing on their cars.
I think Orchard is going to have the better hand at this point, because I don't think 12 lap old mediums would be as badly worn as 6 lap old softs, but the super soft Haas of stand behind, he's been gaining on the last few minutes.
Yeah, if there is going to be a move happening, they have to make a move now, and it is going to be 1-2. Smith's trying to go down the inside of his teammate. Underscary cuts the corner a bit. Sector 3, we have a yellow flag. I'm not sure who's that ahead. It's ahead of us, or is it behind us? I'm not sure what that was. But oh, it's Jesse! Racer's gone! Something's happened, causing Racer to lose his, I think, his front wing, or something's happened dramatically. Maybe he span at Parabolica, but he has lost the position to Jesse, and now Orchard Davis is going to try and go down the inside of Tusmus, running him out of road! Absolutely running him out of road on the track, and Davis is going to not be happy with him there. Oh, big cash once more! He's going to spin him round if he's not careful, is he?
Someone's going to get spun in a minute.
Well, to be fair, Ricky's just let Hamilton through, so I'm not sure what's happened with there either. So they're all heating up. Is he going to go for it? He's gone for it. The Saubers are angry, the Haas is opportunistic, and Ricky is drunk. I mean, Welsh. These two going side by side, letting him through into Ascari. Ricky, these two, oh my goodness me, they're going absolutely mental. And it's the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. That's why they've all decided to wake up for a bit.
I think we predictably can say it will be a Ferrari 1-2, but what...
oh, big slap from Orchard David, he's lost the position to Stam! Those tyres just gave up at the last second!
Yeah, that Sauber looks to be struggling at the minute. I don't know, yeah, sorry, there's definitely a lot of graining going on that Sauber's tyres.
Look at Stam! He's gonna go for P6!
Oh, Racer, no.
Toosmus has bumped him! He's bumped him again! Oh, and a bigger crash has happened! Absolutely going hammer and tong! They're going like proper GP2 here, aren't they?
The last Ferrari 1-2 actually came out with Barrichello ahead of Schumacher.
Well, now you see Orchard David slapping his way through. He is ahead. We have to keep an eye on who's where. Stam is within 4/10 of everyone else. I'm going to have to jump up because the Ferraris are already weaving. They're coming through Parabolica. And for the first time in SpeedForce racing, we have a Ferrari 1-2 at Monza. This is the dream come true for Nikos and Mixilius, but Mixilius wins on penalties, and there he is. Ricky, the GP2 driver, holds off Hamilton to come to the line and come in third place, barring any penalties. Orchard David is out of the race. He's crashed on the final lap of the Grand Prix. What an absolute shame for Orchard David. He lost it at Ascara and he is out. There's Toosmus weaving in P6. Happy 8. Toosmus crashes before the line as well. And everyone seems to be relaxing. But Ferrari 1 and 2. Racer is out of fuel as he comes across the line.
It's alright, Ferrari have only had to wait nearly 15 years for a 1-2.
Oh dear. What an absolutely thrilling race here in SFR. What happened there? I can't put into words that a few of those moves. But Ferrari 1-2, Mixilius ahead. Oh, look at that. Hamilton does pip Ricky to the line on penalties. Mixilius leaving. Hamilton does jump up to third place due to penalties. So a brilliant race there, and I think that was thoroughly entertaining there.
Yeah, it was good. It was a lot better than I was expecting it to be for some reason. I would have thought, oh, they're quick, and they'll be all nice with each other, just giving each other space. How wrong that was.
It was absolutely fantastic, and you see, I'm not sure what we're going to do with this. The admins are still discussing whether Prem will carry on or not. I sort of thinking... There's Ricky saying he had a penalty after one warning. Oh dear, man. But there we go. Mixilius in P1 ahead of Nikos in P2. Both with big penalties. But Hamilton, excuse me, in P3 ahead of Ricky in P4. Jesse's in P5, Toosmus in P6 and Stam in P7. Racer is in P8 and Glocky in P9, the final fishers. DNFs were Orchard David, Senna, Ibrahim, Lee and Connor. All these results are still subject to change by the stewards, but yes, it was a very entertaining race, and I think I thoroughly enjoyed doing that with you, Connor.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Just gonna make sure that something. Alright guys, if you have anything to send to the stewards, please do. We will send a message to, we'll see if we can get Hamilton in here for post-race interviews. I'm getting messages all over the place. And we'll just, excuse me for the screen going blue for a moment as I send a message to Hamilton to get him to get him into the podium chat. Where is Hamilton? There he is. So we'll be getting him in here in a moment. We'll check to see if he's able to get in here. Still, brilliant race and obviously entertaining nonetheless. Connor, for your first commentary job here at SFR, I mean, you enjoyed that, didn't you?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Alright, so Hamilton will be the only person in here, as we know that the other two drivers who were on the podium cannot speak English as well as they could do. Hamilton, mate, firstly, is your voice set to share?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're back in on the podium once more. How was that race, especially how was racing against Ricky, who was a GP2 driver, and he put up quite a bit of a fight with you, didn't he?
Yeah, was the race. I think I had the pace to win, but it's the safety car, and then after the safety car, I don't know what happened, but when I arrived to the pit entry, the car slowed down, and Jesse had to overtake me, and I lost the position. So yeah, the strategy was not good. With Ricky, I think he's a very good driver. We battled, don't know for how many laps, but he seems very good, very fast, and he has good wheel-to-wheel bike, so yeah, he's good.
Alright, so you said you had a pace to win the Grand Prix. Do you think it was strategy that ruined it, or was it just the placement where the safety car came out at that time?
Well, I think at the moment, when the safety car came, I thought it was too soon for doing pit stop. I didn't want to go to medium. I know mediums are much slower. So, but what I didn't anticipate was getting overtaken at the safety car, and then I was pushed off track by Senna, I don't know by who. I think Senna was pushed on me because I think Senna left his space, but somehow, the last moment he pushed me off the track, so yeah, Jesse was losing connection, was lagging. I hit him, but I lost no front wing, so that was a big mess. Without that, I think it would have been a different story.
Alright, so Connor, do you have any questions for our third place man?
No questions. I just want to say congratulations to him, because considering he was fighting with Senna and with the other guys on track towards the end of the race, he fought hard. He managed to keep it quite clean, which I'm quite impressed to see by.
Thank you, man. Yeah, you know, the first rule when you fight with someone is to always leave room and to keep it clean. So there is no point. For example, I managed to overtake someone and then he had a damaged wing, or I had a damaged wing, so that's not good. And yeah, at the end I wanted to win, to take first place on track. But I almost lost the car at Parabolica, and I knew he had penalties, so I cruised to the finish.
A very wise choice there from Hamilton, choosing not to fight, though he knew he was going to get the trophy. So a little cup sent home to where are we? Brackley. Had to remember which team you're in for a second. So provided Premier does race next week, we know the admins are currently discussing it at length. What are you hoping for at Singapore?
You're asking me for Singapore? I'm hoping to take pole and then to take the win.
Pretty standard job, it's normal.
Yeah, but how was the show? Of course, you were watching from the outside. How was the show?
As always, it was very entertaining.
Okay.
All right.
That's good to hear.
So we'll let you go, Hamilton. Go have a victory sip of whatever your drink of choice is. Maybe a nap, because I know it's a bit late for you now, and we'll let you go.
Okay, good night, everyone.
So Hamilton leaves us, and absolutely brilliant race. I think one of the most surprising races that I've commentated on for a long time, purely because of how entertaining it was. I didn't. To be fair, when I saw the driver list today, I won't lie, I was a little bit worried that many drivers were not going to be as entertaining as they could be, and they proved me entirely wrong, and I'm very pleased that they did. So, so Connor, any closing words for the viewers?
This race, thinking about it, I think it was actually more of a Baku style kind of race of how quick everyone was going at each other.
So, would you say well done Monza instead of well done Baku?
Well done, Monza. Well done.
So, provided the admins make a decision, we'll either say goodbye to the Premier Division with a absolutely astonishing race, which was brilliant to see, or we will see you next week in Singapore on Thursday. My name is JB. Thank you, Connor, for joining me on commentary. I know it's your first time, I know you're a little bit nervous, but well done, and you did a great job.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Congratulations, everyone. Hopefully, see you in Singapore.
And from me, as always, I would bid you as I always do. Ta-ra, guys. Have a good night.